out of the car and get it. Look, there they are. Get ready, guys. It's time to rescue my son. Shit, no way. It's my dad. What? My dad and my friends are following us. Come on, old man. Get to the gas. I know where we are. This is great. It looks like Donald is going to be okay after all. They're gaining on us. Turn the fuck up. I haven't gotten my fill yet.
This is too much. I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Don't be a fucking pussy. Let's go. We need to lose them. All right, that's it. Everyone hold on. It's time to get serious.
Oh, geez. This is so dangerous.
For what I'm about to do. Got his ass. Let's go, everyone. Time to get my son.
God damn it. The car won't move.
No, not like this. Why?
Back. I gotta leave. I'm not going out like this.
Where the fuck are you going? Son, are you okay? I'm not okay. I was having the best day ever until you ruined it.
Sir, I know it may have worked this time, but in the future, please just let the cops handle things, okay?
Fuck off. Wow, I can't believe that. You really got you McDonald's and all those toys?
He got you 3 different Lego sets?
That's right. Maybe next time an opportunity like that comes around, you guys should listen to me. George, do I look like I'm in pain? Now, come on. You guys are going to help me build these new Lego sets. Oh, yeah, let's do it. It'll be awesome.
a fireworks spot like this.
Maybe we should play this like this.
Maybe we should play like this.
You know what team we seldom talk about here on this YouTube channel? The Toronto Maple Leafs. And I say that jokingly because we've been making videos about all their rumors and all their guys that are going to get traded and going to get moved and whether or not their futures actually lie with the Maple Leafs. But one name that has kind of crossed himself off of that list for a while, at least for the next few years, is franchise superstar Austin Matthews. The reason he has crossed himself off is because he had signed an extension which goes on until 2028, where he'll be making the most amount of money out of every NHL player AAV-wise, $13.25 million a year. Now, we're all familiar with Matthews. Last year in 21-22, or should I say 2 years ago now? Yeah, let's say 2 years ago. He had the 60-goal year, 100 points, 73 games played. He was phenomenal. Still lost in the first round, though. Last year, he declined in points, only 85 points and 40 goals compared to the 60 goals he had last year, but his team finally made it past the first round. Unfortunately for Matthews, most of his production was in that first round. He didn't really do too much in the second round, but Matthews is still a very good player. However, when it comes to reputation, you might find many NHL fans, online, in general, that will say that Matthews is not necessarily the best player in the league, even though he's making the top amount of money. This is a guy who is normally lumped in with that A regular tier. Like if Connor McDavid is S tier, you have all the guys underneath McDavid, and everybody talks about McKinnon, people talk about Draisaitl, Pasternak, Makar, Matthews. It's an ongoing thing. And so, while establishing that this entire idea is a thing, today what I wanted to do was talk about a Toronto Maple Leafs prospect that is set to making the team this upcoming year. A guy who has a whole bunch of hype surrounding him based off of his potential, based off of what he had shown last year in the postseason for Toronto, and based off of his NCAA prosperity. Today we are talking about Maple Leafs second-round steal in 2021, Matthew Knies, and a few comments that he had made regarding Austin Matthews and the entire player profile he possesses as a whole. Now, for Matthew Knies, I don't think we've made too many videos going over his story ever since his days as an NCAA guy. Like, we did make a few videos talking about, the 1 year later, etc., etc. That was all very well received, but it's been 2 years since the guy has been drafted, and after another stellar campaign with the Minnesota Golden Gophers, wherein he had 42 points in 40 games, he made his Maple Leafs debut at the end of the season, had 1 point in 3 regular season games, and then suited up for the Maple Leafs in the postseason. Now, he didn't play all the games in the playoffs, he only had 7. But in that 7-game sample, he had 4 points. And in fact, if you wanted to look at Big Head Hockey's tweet regarding Matthew Knies and his first ever playoff run, take a look at this. 7 games, 1 goal, 3 assists, all primary assists, 4 points, all at 5v5, 7 shots, 15 shot attempts, a +1 takeaway differential, 15 hits, a 59.51 5v5 expected goals for percentage, and he led all rookies in 5v5 points per 60. Unreal production from a 6'3" guy who is at 20 years old and 210 pounds. It does not take a genius to acknowledge just how good Matthew Knies was analytically in the postseason run. Even some of these numbers in isolation are just really good already. 59.51 5v5 expected goals for percentage, that's crazy good. Anything above 50 is already seen as above average. So 59.5, that's very good. It means that when he's on the ice at 5v5, the Toronto Maple Leafs have 6 out of 10 expected goals for in their favor. With this in mind, though, talking about how good Matthew Knies is and talking about his profile as a prospect, he could very well become a middle to top 6 lock in this upcoming season's worth of play. It all depends on where Sheldon Keefe decides to put him. We had ourselves some comments made by Matthew Knies at the NHL's Upper Deck Rookie Showcase event. They asked him how good of a player Austin Matthews is, and Knies said this: pretty darn good. He's not just the best goal scorer in the NHL, but he plays defense to light a fire as to where this conversation could go. Austin Matthews being the best goal scorer in the NHL is already an idea that I think a lot of people were on board with, although that was very much more prevalent last year when the guy had 60 goals in 73 games. This previous season, getting 40 goals definitely diminished his reputation as being the quote-unquote best goal scorer in the league. In fact, Matthews was nowhere near the top 10 in 22-23 goal scoring. You had guys like Adrian Kempe, Carter Verhaeghe, Mark Scheifele, Ovechkin, McKinnon all getting more goals, some of these guys doing so in a better goal per game number 2. And you also had two 60-goal guys. McDavid had 64, Pasternak had 61, not to mention Draisaitl, Rantanen, and Point, who all had 50+. There was a conversation a year ago that said, yeah, Matthews got 60 goals in 70 games. That is incredible. He was the best goal scorer, but this previous season definitely slowed him down in that respect because of the low shooting percentage he had at the start of the year. But whatever, though, we all kind of recognize that the beginning of last season was a pretty big fluke for Austin Matthews in terms of his goal production. And if you were to project where his points go next year, or this upcoming season, it's very easy to say that 60 goals is well within the realm of possibility here. So for Matthew Nyes to go out there and say that Matthews is the best goal scorer, that's not that outrageous of a comment to make. But also saying that he plays defense and that he's kind of the best overall player, oh boy, you're going to ruffle some feathers with that, Matthew. Because Austin Matthews isn't really the guy that I think a lot of people would immediately assume when they think, oh yeah, premier two-way forward in the NHL. In fact, there are a lot of players who you could say are better overall guys than Matthews. And I think the first one that comes to everybody's mind is Nathan McKinnon. Not only is McKinnon a beast in terms of point production and goals, but the guy is also a gamer who works so hard on defense. He is always going, always got a motor running, and his two-way capabilities are more so encapsulated in his effort and presence in the defensive zone, plus his board play as well. When it comes to these defensive guys, two-way capability is usually measured with takeaways and how they're able to influence the opposition in their own zone. Not to mention penalty killing time, etc., etc. I think everybody kind of recognizes the best one in that respect was Patrice Bergeron, but he's no longer playing. But then again, you have to acknowledge that there's also an offensive component that plays into the two-way argument as well. While Patrice Bergeron was definitely the best defensive forward in the game for quite some time, his offense was never really at the top of the league. Sure, it was there, like he would get one season and he would produce like crazy, but it wasn't Connor McDavid #1. It wasn't 100-point caliber. It wasn't in the top 10 of points. And so two-way capability, you have to measure how good a player is at offense versus how good they are at defense and add it together rather than take it away. For Austin Matthews, his goal production is very good, but I don't think many would go out there and say he's an elite defensive guy like Nathan McKinnon is or like Patrice Bergeron is. So as a result, for me personally, I don't really agree with Matthew Nyes' assessment, but of course he's going to go out there and gas up his own teammates and say good things about him because, of course, they're teammates. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact that this tweet was published in the way it was had a lot of people replying and quoting and saying, hey, Matthews wasn't on the penalty kill. Matthews is not as good defensively as, let's say, McKinnon. Like, there's a whole bunch of other factors that go into it. But, of course, this is what the media cycle does. A Toronto guy says something good about another Toronto guy, maybe even calls Austin Matthews the best player in the league, and everybody loses their minds. Everybody watches, everybody talks, and I'm making a YouTube video about it because I know this is going to garner a really good discussion in the comment section below. So let me know your thoughts in the comments about this entire Matthews thing. I just kind of realized how unfortunate it is that both of these guys have the same name, Matthew Nyes and Austin Matthews, which kind of made this video a bit difficult to navigate. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section about Matthew Nyes.
Shop begins up to more with Triangle Rewards and Canadian Tire. Spend $250 or more pre-tax September 7th and get $40 bonus CT money. Offer valid in-store and online on qualifying items. Conditions apply.
Wedding invites here. It's in the Bahamas on a long weekend. Trying to get the pet flights with police.
You got this. Morning all. Alright, so today's video starting off with Jeff Rachel rounding up their signing. So the final two teams to fill the roster, Boston has their three signings, Hillary Knight, Aaron Frankel, and Megan Keller. So again, U.S. players on the U.S. side, Canadian players on the Canadian side. That includes the Montreal team. Marie Philip is going to play for Montreal along with Anne Renee Gabriel and probably won't be, but maybe you'll have some kind of streaming service set up for that. So we'll see if that changes. I will let you know, of course. So for Buffalo fans, social media can say that today was the whole week, where they're going to wear the black jerseys. So that is 15 out of 41. That's not bad. That's almost half. Of course, they had a really good record with jerseys, so if they can replicate that again, a lot of team nights in Nashville, I would imagine that will be the case all around, but I've talked about this before. There's a lot of team nights in the NHL. I don't like so much unless it's going to like delay the start of the game by about like 20, 25 minutes. Usually that's retired of the game because they'll cause that kind of delay. So, yeah, there you go. And Minnesota releasing their broadcasting schedule. And I've been looking at other broadcasting schedules. Most of the most cases seem to be broadcast on Valley Sports Network. Will be on Valley Sports Network again this year. So while the NHL may have a plan B, I hope it's one that they might do in the moment during the season if something happens to Valley during the season. A lot of talk about how much money Valley has lost and bankruptcy schedules and whatnot. So we hope that we'll finish the season on Valley, but it looks like we'll start the season at Valley. So we've been concerned that that's tremendous based on the Valley has for their broadcasting being off for 8 years and then echo there for the next 5 days. Don't worry, Valley still has the contract apparently and will be broadcasting hockey games. Again, keeping in mind that it's a fluid situation for them and the money to see how long they're good. So interesting little tidbit about Tom Willander. Tom Willander, 2023 draft pick from Vancouver. He is going to play for Boston, not the first game. So dressed for 2 SHL games, because of that, apparently you have to sit out the first game for Boston University. He did stick hard as dressed for 2 games, apparently, although there was one comment I saw saying only actually dressed for 1. The other one he was actually off to the under 20. But he played a grand total of 0 minutes. None. He put on a jersey, sat on the bench, didn't play a single minute, single moment of ice time until the NCAA rolled him out of game. It's just interesting to me because I know the NCAA, the whole, throws it in the paid thing, but athletes they can be paid in the NCAA. It seems weird, it seems odd, but at least it's only 1 game, so it shouldn't affect Willander all this season. It's just more of an oddity and an aggravation than anything else. So NHL 24th, Bengals leading their next thing, whatever it is now. Tweeting out that they added delay game penalties. So there are players online, and again, seeing that footage, it's like, yeah, that's why I don't play online. Where they'll just like keep away their own goals. And they'll just have the defenseman and they'll rag the puck around and just kill the clock. Now, I've done that when I'm playing offline by myself. I have. I've had games where I'm like, okay, I want to get this game all over the place. You don't want whistles, I don't care, or I'm winning, I don't care. But when you're against another person, it's a little bit weird. So, especially with the 1-goal lead, right? So now it's like 24 seconds, so if you have the puck in your own goal and you're not trying to advance it at all, you get a penalty for delaying game, which is an NHL rule, right? You can't just stand behind your net and stand and stand and stand. The referee's going to yell at you if you don't the puck, well, it's delaying game. So NHL 24 adding that seems to make the gamers pretty happy. And yeah, I'll say that's the rule change that works. One question I thought too, I don't know if this works. So you're passing back and forth to your defense, and what happens if one of your defensemen is the zone and then comes right back in? So you just quickly exit and come right back in, so that clock then reset. I'm guessing it's obvious, but at least you're forcing them to advance the puck, you're forcing them to potentially end up in a spot where they can turn it over. Been seeing a lot of hype for the outdoor game at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. And it should be fun. It's on October 29th, so that's relatively early in the season, which if you're going to have an outdoor game in Edmonton, you don't want it to be December or January, because it might just be cold for hockey outdoors. We almost got there in Minnesota, where it was almost cold to have the outdoor game there for the Winter Classic. So the hype is there, a lot of Connor McDavid being brought out to talk about it, and the first outdoor game there was in 2003. That one against the Montreal Canadiens. That was where you get the famous picture of Jose Theodore with the over top of his mask, his helmet. So, yeah, I think it's great that Edmonton's getting a game there. I think it's long overdue. It shouldn't be 20 years between games. You've got games in Boston. It seems like every other year, 10 more games in Edmonton than that. So, yeah, hopefully this doesn't take another 20 years to happen. And then as we get into the rookie tournaments, and there's going to be a lot of young stars rookie tournaments, the Tom Kerber Showcase, Minnesota Home Units, it's going to involve things.
Our worlds revolve around food, but food impacts our world too. On the low-carbon diet, you can eat all the Greenfield natural Miko you love, because we're proudly carbon neutral.
Guys, what the hell? I thought we all agreed that we'd come dressed as bounty hunters. Upon further contemplation, George, I decided that becoming a meager bounty hunter was far beneath my standards. Why be a forgettable, insignificant speck of an errand boy, when I can instead shape the galaxy as one of the lords of the Sith and fist of the Empire himself? Jesus, he's really getting into the roleplay. I'm just surprised he didn't come dressed as Darth Sidious. The galaxy is rotten to the core with villainy and corruption. Only through ruthless imperialism can we truly establish the peace and stability that the incompetent Republic and treacherous Jedi spent a millennia trying to attain. Henceforth, you will all serve as my personal underlings. Inquisitors, tasked with suppressing any partisan activity and rooting out any and all Jedi in exile. Furthermore, you will refer to me as Trump Vader or Lord Trump. However, my lord will also suffice. Anyone who fails to meet my demands or leave me in any avenue shall be ordered 66, like those traitorous bastard sons of bitches Jedi. Now find me Kenobi.
Donald's right. Bounty hunters are lame. Why be a loser living paycheck to paycheck hunting Rhodians and Wookiees when I can use the Force to crush my enemy's windpipe? One of you guys should have really come dressed as Darth Maul, though. We could have had some sick brother-to-brother roleplay.
It's just annoying how we all settled on coming as bounty hunters, but when we get here, Joe's the only one who stuck to the plan.
Oh, it's okay, George. At the end of the day, we're here just to have a grand old time. It's no big deal if Barry wants to come dressed as Lando.
Joe, I am not Lando. I am Han Solo, instrumental leader within the Rebel Alliance and galactic renown smuggler.
So you didn't want to cosplay as a bounty hunter, but instead wanted to come as a smuggler? That's a huge downgrade. Like going from Hollywood actor to porn star.
Look, leave me alone. I just like Han Solo, okay? Plus, can any of you guys make the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that one, Barry. That is pretty badass.
Who cares about flying fast? I can literally block a blaster bolt with my hands.
And I can ransack a diner in public.
You talking about your character or yourself?
Well, that's actually why I chose this guy. He just matches me to a T. Tall, handsome, muscular. And in my college years, my friends and I used to go to Denny's, cross-faded, and trash the place.
I don't think it was a Denny's that we trashed, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Christ! Did you guys see that Mandalorian over there? I didn't even know they made armor in that size. What is that, 5XL? They took all of the Beskar in the known universe just to forge his breastplate alone.
You're one to talk, Don.
Donnie, don't be an ass.
An ass? The guy literally has a corn dog in one hand and an inhaler in the other. There is no way that jetpack on his back is taken off.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, buddy, aren't you a little fat for a Mandalorian?
Donnie, calm down. People are starting to stare.
Donald, you're just angry that he's the one with the corn dog and not you.
Okay, listen. I'll admit the corn dog did look pretty tasty. Say anyone want to visit the concession stand? All this talk about food has me a bit riled up now.
Donnie, there's no way you're thinking about food after just ragging on that poor guy.
Quiet, Solo. I'm the most powerful being in our group right now, and therefore I call the shots. Tell my Inquisitors, let us make our way to the snack bar. Nothing beats replenishing the midi-chlorian count like a good old-fashioned corn dog.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around how Donald mocked the guy for a corn dog, but then went on to say he wanted to buy one himself.
Are you really surprised? It's Donald. How many times has he yelled at us for throwing when we play seed, but then he goes on to die 5 times in a row and trying to spawn food?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Hey, Barry, I forgot my wallet at home. How about you smuggle me one of them chocolate popsicles?
What? I'm not going to steal food for you, Alex. What if I get caught? We'll get kicked out.
Come on, no one's looking. The cashier is too busy eye-fucking that one chick in the slave Leia cosplay. George and I aren't nimble enough in our armor, but you can easily bend over the counter and grab it.
Alex, you're seriously going to put me in this position?
Come on! It's the least least you can do for me after I went out on an arm and a leg for you guys securing a buyer for our pre-workout pack?
Fuck. You're really gonna hold that over my head, huh? Okay, fine. But this is the only time I'm doing this.
You'll be fine. No one's watching. Also, I got your back if someone does catch it. I'll say you dropped your wallet on the other side or something. Now hurry up. Get the chocolate one.
Yeah, I heard you the first time.
Hey, sir, what do you think you're doing?
Oh shit, we're fucked.
Sir, I told my friend not to steal. Begged him practically. Mall and a press side by side. We're always on the same wavelength, Joe.
Holy shit, Joe, you gave me a damn heart attack. That's the last time I ever do anything like that again, Alex.
Joe, what are you doing behind the counter? Are you manning this place?
Hell no. You see that kid over there? He's been busy gazing at chicks in Ray and Leia costumes for the past 3 hours. So while he was distracted, I just hopped over the counter and started stealing shit. I've had at least 6 R2 popsicles and 7 blue milk martinis. What do you guys want? I mean, I can literally get you guys anything back here. It's like a buffet.
Hey, give me that chocolate popsicle back there.
Have you just been giving away free food all this time?
Hell yeah. This big-ass Mandalorian came here earlier. Huge motherfucker. You couldn't have missed it. He ordered a burrito, so I hooked him up. Gave him a triple wrap and even seared it with some cannabis oil.
Joe, you're spiking people's fucking burritos?
Yeah, shit's funny as hell. You guys should have seen it. He started tripping over himself as he was trying to make his way to the corn dog stand after.
What a lightweight. Hey, you still got some of that cannabis butter on you?
Of course I do.
How about you whip us up a batch of brownies?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm so down. Hey, after it's done baking, we should give one to that kid manning the register.
Joe, you are an evil genius.
Hey, what the fuck are you buffoons doing there behind the counter?
Holy fuck, it's the fad.
Oh, shit. It's a fucking cop. Run, Mr. President.
Jesus. Gentlemen, I must say those corn dogs really hit the spot. Kind of annoyed I didn't get that funnel cake, though. Would you guys mind if we hop back in the line for it?
Donald, you cannot possibly tell me that after eating 11 corn dogs that you still want dessert.
Golly, do you guys see that? Look, it's baby Grogu. Donnie, take a look at this little guy. He's so cute, don't you think so? Donnie, did you hear what I said?
Yeah,
What is it?
I think I just saw Joe Rogan in handcuffs being escorted out by some cops.
What the hell is Joe doing here?
I don't know, but I think he just used one of the horns on his head to stab one of the security guards, and now he's making a run for it.
Jesus Christ.
Guys, you won't believe it. We just narrowly escaped being nabbed by the feds. No thanks to Barry here. We tried to rob some goods at the concession stand.
Alex, you literally told me to grab the ice cream. If we would have been apprehended, it would have been your fault.
Guys, look, I found Grogu.
Oh, great. This crap again.
What's wrong?
Baby Yoda is a cheap cop-out, catered to Star Wars moms attempting to bewitch the audience by masking the show with a cutesy appeal so that their attention is averted from the atrocious writing supersaturating the series. The Mandalorian is a nonsensical series about nothing that contributes little to the Star Wars franchise other than hearing a green puppet making baby noises for 45 minutes straight. Meanwhile, the main character aimlessly gravitates towards side quests that neither progresses his character or the plot of the show, if indeed it even had one to begin with.
Damn, Donnie, tell us how you really feel.
Alex, keep your guard up for those cops. I think I saw one eyeing us while Donnie was on his rant.
Don't worry, Barack. I have my eyes, ears, and horns on the lookout. They're not taking us to Guantanamo tonight.
Oh, but Donnie, he's so adorable. I just have to take him with me. Look at this. There you go, little fella. Right over the shoulder. What do you guys think?
I think it looks very wholesome, Joey.
Looks stupid.
Come on, Donald. Get the vibro staff out of your ass and give him this. It'll mean the world to him.
Fine, all right, but only because it'll make Joe happy. You two make a fine pair, Joe. If you want to take it with us, you won't hear a peep out of me.
Oh, thanks, Donnie.
Now, what's this I'm staring at? A band of dirt-faced Jawas scrounging for scraps. Sorry, but can we help you? Perhaps and perhaps not. Look at you with your terribly designed wish-quality costumes. What? Did you stop by the Dollar Tree to get those? Staggeringly embarrassing.
Embarrassing? You're the one not even in a Star Wars costume. What? Did you not get the memo?
Settle down there, Jabba. Look, we kind of have our hands full at the moment. We don't have time to be chewed out by some guy dressed up as Master Chief.
Wait, that voice. Unmask yourself and let your identity be revealed. I knew it. It's Steve Downs. He's the actual voice of Master Chief.
Hey, how did you know that?
Are you kidding me, Barack? First off, his voice is extremely iconic.
It's true, I'm quite a big deal.
Second, back when I was a young adult, my father's generals were always too busy discussing matters of national security with him. However, because of how overprotective my family was of me, I was unable to make friends or socialize with anyone, really. So I spent most of my days alone and secluded, just playing the Halo campaign since my parents also wouldn't let me play the online modes.
Damn, that's actually extremely sad. I'm so sorry you went through that, kid. I'm the one who's sorry for everyone at this convention. They're the ones misfortunate enough to have to deal with your amateurish cosplays. Now let's see what we have here before us. First, we have dark diabetes.
Hey, fuck you, pal.
Second, we have what looks to be Thanos with a spray tan gone wrong.
I'm the brother to Darth Maul, actually.
It's more like his discount cousin that Sidious kept locked up in the attic. Then we have George as Dengar, Joe as Cad Bane, and finally, Moff Gideon himself.
I am not Moff Gideon. He is Saw Gerrera.
Yes, I see it now. Fuck sakes. What have you been thinking cosplaying as Dengar for, George? The only worst bounty hunter you could have possibly picked is that weird fly fucker from episode 5.
I believe his name was Forlong.
I believe I don't give a fuck. However, I must admit, Joe, your outfit does outshine the rest of these clowns. I think you make a pretty badass looking Cad Bane.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Chief. What a nice Navajo chieftain he is.
Joe, he's not an actual Indian chieftain. Master Chief is his naval rank.
Oh, hey there, Daddy Don. I see you met my new man.
Drake?
The hell? You two are together?
He's the Watto to my team.
Drake, you know Watto owned Shmi as a slave, right? They didn't exactly have a healthy relationship.
Doesn't matter, Barry. Love outshines all societal taboos. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you two can find happiness. Plus, we actually have a lot in common. Like what exactly? Well, we can both take 10 brute chieftains at the same time, just in different ways. Isn't that right, Chiefy?
Indeed, my dandelion.
What the hell is happening?
Perhaps that's a bit too much information.
We did not need to know that.
Don't let their words bother you, Drake. They're just jealous of our fervent, unwavering devotion to one another.
They envy us.
Well, I, for one, am quite happy for the both of you.
Thank you, Joseph.
So why exactly are you taking shots at us, Steve?
I like to frequent many conventions and find those who bullied me. Then I return the favor by ragging on their inferior cosplays.
What do you mean, those who bullied you?
Back in the 360 days, I used to queue up for SWAT mode all the time. However, I wasn't the best, and at every lobby there was always some snot-nosed, punk-ass, fat, fudge-fucking kid who would always belittle me for it. This is my way of getting back at those who hurt my feelings.
It's okay, Chiefy. You have me now. The burdens are also mine now.
Together we shine brighter than even the most radiant of stars.
Okay, but what does that have to do with any of us? We never bullied you online.
Well,
For fuck's sake, Donnie, seriously?
listen, he was basically intentionally beating. I mean, the game literally has aim assist. Just pull the damn trigger.
Fuck you, Donald. I was the voice and spirit of the franchise, and you vehemently attacked me just because I couldn't play well.
For fuck's sakes, Donald. We're in this predicament because of you?
Not just him. Butterlard, the hut over there, was also bullying me.
Alex, are you serious?
All he had to do was keep the fucking warthog steady, but he kept driving like Kim over there.
I'm a good driver, damn it.
I can't make a single shot when the guy's navigating the vehicle like we're on a damn roller coaster.
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I know I was bad, but that didn't justify the dozens of Xbox voice messages you guys sent me. You guys literally made my nights a living hell.
They sent you voice messages?
Yeah, constantly telling me to take a bath with a toaster, or telling me to ask my mother if her back was still sore from last night.
Jesus, how old are you two?
That's what he gets for throwing our matches.
How many messages exactly did each of them send you?
52 from Donald and 44 from Alex.
What the hell is wrong with you guys?
Look, as much as we'd love to hang around and chat, we actually have to get going. To give you guys a rundown, some cops are looking for us, and we have to get the hell out of here before they find us.
Oh shit, the cops are looking for you guys?
Why? What's it to you?
Who do you think gave Joe all of that cannabis cooking oil?
Oh, hell yeah, Chief. That's just what this convention needs to spice things up.
Oh my god, what the hell, Steve? Why did you do that?
Because I saw this big-ass 600-pound Mandalorian in line for the concession stand. Huge son of a bitch, you couldn't have missed it. Anyways, he was also one of the ones who attacked me on Xbox Live. So I spiked his burrito. Consider it restitution.
Any and all who come between us will suffer the wrath of 1,000 suns for us.
You are my real-life Cortana Drake.
Only in death may we part.
Okay, well, regardless, we gotta get out of here before we get arrested. Alex, Donnie, just apologize to Steve so we can all get out of here.
We're past apologies, Barack. It's gonna take something much more for us to be square.
What the hell do you want?
You guys still play Fortnite? How about you add me and we get up some squads later tonight?
In your dreams, pal.
Fuck no. I ain't squatting with your trash ass.
Screw you guys. Bastards haven't changed a bit.
Jesus, what are you guys, 12?
How about a compromise then?
What are you suggesting?
The
Star Wars trivia panel is about to start. What if we all enter and help you try to win the prize, Mr. Chieftain?
Depends. Chance to right the wrongs of the past and to let bygones be bygones.
Barack, we are Sith. Go take that hippie nonsense to those pacifist pencil pushers back on the boob.
Oh my God.
Look, we'll all help Steve, and Alex and Donnie can just enter separately. Surely all of our heads put together can easily beat them.
I wouldn't be so confident, George. Sith know all and see all.
Donnie, you are an ass.
Everyone, the Star Wars trivia panel is about to begin. Please make sure your phones are registered to our online quiz platform so your answers can be correctly synced and registered.
Hey, Donald, want to enter the lobby with some goofy usernames?
Sure. What name are you going?
Oh, you'll see.
Excuse me. Whoever entered the lobby with the username Sith on my face must change that. Please keep names family friendly.
Seriously, Alex?
Fucking buzzkill.
If you lose, they're just gonna make fun of me again. I know it. I can't go through all of that at least a second time. You guys don't understand the type of hell those two put me through. Sleepless nights, days devoid of any joy. That's what those two did to me for years. It's okay, Chief. You're among friends now.
Oh, don't you worry, Chieftain. You're in good hands. Although it's true Donnie is a formidable opponent when it comes to Star Wars trivia, I too have spent many a night studying the curious lore of the Nazgul.
The Nazgul? No, that's Lord of the Rings, not Star Wars.
Whoa, fiddlesticks.
I am so screwed.
Are there really only 3 people who signed up? What a deadbeat convention. Ungrateful pigs. I'm up here wasting my time only for 8 hicks to show up. I told you we should have had paid spectators fill in the panel. Either that or create fake user accounts like what Blizzard did at their Diablo Q&A.
Sir, your mic is live.
Oh, shit. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Lex Wiesler, and I'll be hosting this panel. We all wholeheartedly appreciate every person for taking the time to be here. Now let's get to the first question. Who was responsible for wiping out any information regarding Camino and the Jedi's archives?
Too easy. Right? I mean, who wouldn't know that answer? It was Greedo, right?
Okay, I know this one at least. It was Count Dooku.
That was an easy one. No doubt Alex and Donnie also got that one.
Hey, guys, just coming here to compare notes. The answer was Greedo, right?
Alex, get the hell out of here.
Oh, screw you, Barry.
Second question. How old was Anakin during the Battle of Geonosis?
Another easy one.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was. He was 14, right?
14. Alex, didn't you look 14 in the damn movie?
I don't know, but he sure as hell acted like it.
Oh crap, guys, I need help on this.
Well, he was at least 18, because that was when all that freaky shit was happening with Padme.
I don't know this one either.
Damn it, should we just mark it down as 18 then?
The Battle of Geonosis happened 22 years before the Battle of Yavin. Vader died 4 years after the Battle of Yavin at the age of 45, so he must have been 19 during Geonosis.
Wow, good thinking, Joey.
Joe, how did you know that?
I told you, George. I dedicated many hours studying the vast and extensive lore of Middle-earth.
Thank you, Mr. President. I definitely would have gotten that wrong without your help.
Hey guys, I was just doing some math on my end and I came up with 36 as the answer. Did you guys also get that?
Alex, we're not helping you.
Fake friends, all of you.
Third question. What kind of blaster does Han Solo carry?
Well, it had to be a Smith & Wesson, right, Donald?
Jesus. They are really ramping up the difficulty on these questions.
Damn it, do you know this one, Barry?
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea.
You cosplayed as a character without even doing your homework on it?
Yeah, well, I didn't expect to be quizzed on every minute detail of the guy.
It's a DL-44 blaster.
Are you sure, Joe?
Back when I was browsing the interweb searching for Cat Bane's NL-30 pistol to add to my cosplay, Han Solo's weapon also came up numerous times. Unfortunately, they would both take way too long to ship here, so I didn't end up grabbing either of them.
Jesus, Joey. You are saving our ass right now.
I am truly in the debt, Mr. President.
Oh gosh, it's nothing really. I just want you to be happy is all. And if that means winning this contest to get that dark saber, then that's what we're going to do.
Gentlemen, I came up with a Smith & Wesson as my answer. Surely you all got the same?
Go away, Alex.
Bastards. Before we have our last and final question, it seems we have a tie between 2 contestants, Darth Vader and Master Chief. Congratulations on being the biggest losers in the convention. Am I right, Adam?
Again, your mic is live.
Jesus! Anyway, we also had another contestant by the username of Fuckstakes. How did this slip through? The contestant with the name Rhodian Slaver has gotten every question wrong. If we receive another tie for this round's question, then we will enter a sudden death round.
Shit, Donnie's still keeping up with us. At this rate, our luck's not gonna last.
I think I know how we can win, but we're gonna have to play dirty.
What do you have in mind?
All right, gentlemen, prepare for the final question.
I don't know how Joe's managed to carry Chief this far, but their luck's bound to run out sooner or later. That dark saber is as good as mine.
Do you usually rant to yourself like that?
Who the hell is this?
Yes, hello. Greetings. This is Rocky Panda Superstar Chinese Restaurant, America #1.
What are you talking about?
You placed an order of fried rice and side of orange chicken 1 hour ago. You come pick up now.
I did no such thing.
Final question. How old was Yoda when Luke returned to him to complete his training?
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not. That's what he says to Luke.
Thanks, George.
You got it, Chief.
One answer has been submitted. 10 seconds left on the clock.
You make my people work all day and night and you don't pick up orders?
Jesus, fine. I'll pick up your damned order, but I need to get off the phone right now, all right?
Okay, sir. See you soon. Very soon. Have God bless Super American Day, Independence #1 China, and McDonald's forever, as you Americans say.
Whatever.
I'm afraid the timer has run out. Only one answer was submitted. The dark saber goes to Master Chief.
Holy shit, guys, we did it. I can't thank you all enough.
Oh, no worries, my Native American friend. We were just happy to have helped.
Sir, please come up here and collect your prize.
Did he buy it?
Yeah, it worked like a charm.
You're lucky you caught me while I was at a Chinese restaurant. Had to pay the manager $50 to get on board, but glad to see it was worth it. Tell Chief I hope he enjoys his new suit. Also, any chance to fuck with Donald, you let me know. You may have ruined the Family Feud studio, but he was the one who brought you all on. So if there's any chance to ever mess with him, count me in.
No one speaks a word of this to Donald.
That was like crack again.
Got yourself lucky, boys. Some random Chinese restaurant called me on the last question and distracted me. But it isn't all bad. I apparently forgot that I ordered some fried rice and orange chicken an hour ago. It's ready for pickup now, so let's get moving. I'm starving.
Ooh, fried rice.
Wait, so did he actually order the food, or did Steve just manage to gaslight him? I'm confused now.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea.
Well, guys, I may not have exactly reconciled with those two, but I'm glad I met the rest of you. Every time I activate this blade and swing it around, I'll be thinking of what you did for me.
We're glad to have helped you, Chief.
Wait, is that Joe? Who are those excited fellows tailing here?
Shit! Those are fucking cops!
Run, Mr. President. Make a break for it.
Left drink. Jesus!
Hey everyone, my name is FlyGonHG, and this is the video of my attempts to Nuzlocke Pokemon Fire Red using hard Nuzlocke rules. Now before I begin, you're probably asking a lot of questions. What's a Nuzlocke? There are hard Nuzlocke rules. Why am I watching this? If you aren't asking those questions, go ahead and skip to the rules of the challenge section. But for those of you who are healthy enough to have never tried a Pokemon Nuzlocke, let me explain. A Pokemon Nuzlocke is a playthrough of a Pokemon game where the player plays by a set of rules to make the game harder. This is because Pokemon games, in general, are stupidly easy. So sadistic adults like myself make the game harder for themselves so that they can relive the nostalgia of their youth. Now, there's a lot of variants of Nuzlocke run-throughs, but the most basic Nuzlocke rule set comprises of 3 rules. 1. If a Pokemon ever faints in battle, it is considered dead. You must immediately release it or permabox it for the rest of your playthrough. This is the main source of difficulty. If your starter gets knocked out by a trainless Pokemon, you can't rush him over to your local free healthcare clinic and heal him up. He's dead. Gone. Rest in peace. This makes it significantly harder to beat even common enemies, but it also makes it far more important to consider gameplay mechanics that you would never think of, so it makes the game fun. 2. You can only catch 1 Pokemon from each route of the game, and it must be the very first Pokemon you find. If you knock out the first Pokemon you find, too bad, you can't catch another one on that route. This also makes makes the game a bit harder because it not only limits the overall number of Pokemon that you can catch, but it also makes you use Pokemon that you might never have used in a regular playthrough. I have fond memories of strolling up to the Elite Four in a Pokemon Fire Red playthrough with a Beedrill, because that's what I got in Viridian Forest instead of a Pikachu or a Pidgey. Forcing certain Pokemon on the player requires better strategies and more fun, at least theoretically. And 3. You must nickname all your Pokemon. That way, when you watch the light leave the eyes of your sweet little warriors, it hurts even more, knowing that no one will replace the bond that you had with your precious Pokemon. Okay, so those are the basic rules of Nuzlocking. Sound fun? Well, it is, but after you've done a few Nuzlocks with basic rules, you get numb. If you play enough of them, you learn that Nuzlocks can be almost as easy as a regular playthrough just by over-leveling your Pokemon, or using items. So you can make your Nuzlocke playthroughs even harder by adding an additional hard rule set. And these rules are based off of a Nuzlocker on YouTube called Pokemon Challenges, who does Nuzlocks for a living. Dream job. He's the best out there, so check out his channel if you haven't already. But basically, the additional hard Nuzlocke rule set imposes 3 additional rules. 1. Items cannot be used in battle. No potions, no X items. Held items, though, are allowed. 2. You cannot level any of the Pokemon you've used past the next gym leader's highest level Pokemon. If a Pokemon exceeds that level accidentally, it must be boxed until the next gym badge is obtained. And in 3, battle mode must be on set for the whole run, meaning you do not get free switches following the defeat of an enemy Pokemon. All of these rules make the run significantly harder, which makes it more fun. Alright, so now you're caught up, and with that, let's see how I beat Pokemon Fire Red using hard Nuzlocke rules. I start my journey by picking Bulbasaur as my starter. Bulbasaur is probably the best starter early game because he's super effective to the first 2 gym leaders. He's also a chunky boy and takes hits well late game. I named my Bulbasaur Ivysaur. Ivysaur and I are immediately challenged by my rival Butts and his new Charmander. And this battle was pretty much as expected. I mean, as an experienced Pokemon trainer, we crushed. I start my journey by picking Bulbasaur as my starter. Bulbasaur is probably the best starter early game because he's super effective to the first 2 gym leaders. He's also a chunky boy and takes hits well late game. I named him Bob to decimate my rival Butts 2 and his new Charmander. First try. After getting Pokeballs, I catch my first set of encounters. From Route 1, I catch a Rattata and name her Anyone Can Cook, because anyone can cook, and that's an important lesson to remember. From Route 2, I catch a Pidgey and name it Tarch. On Route 22, I catch a Mankey and name it Mankey. And in Viridian Forest, I catch a Caterpie and name it Doggerpie. I'm hilarious. Before the first gym, I train up Bob, Pudge, and Anyone Can Cook, but Bob clean sweeps Brock without even breaking a sweat. After that, we get a ton more encounters on our way to Cerulean City. But before that, we have this insanely close call where I almost lose Pudge to a rat poison sting Ekans. I was incredibly lucky, and it was a huge mistake on my part. But we survive and move on. From Route 3, I catch a Spearow and name it Spear Column. I go ahead and box Spear Column. And up next. At this point, I don't have much for Charmander, but after some training, Pudge evolved into Pidgeotto, Bob evolved into Ivysaur, and Anyone Can Cook evolved into Raticate. So I'm confident going in. Pudge goes toe-to-toe with Bud 2's Pidgeotto. I bring Bob out for his Rattata and do some damage before he switches out to his Charmander. I switch in Anyone Can Cook, tail whip him once to guarantee a Hyper Fang kill without triggering Blaze, and then go for the kill. Abra comes out next, so I switch to Bob and suck him dry with Leech Seed to get full health. Last is Rattata, who goes down to a Violet, and that's Bud's 2. From here, we get a couple more encounters. North of Cerulean City on Route 24, I catch an Oddish and name him Weirdo. And on Route 25, I catch a Waddell and name it Peewee. Trash encounters into the box they both go. After some training, it's time to take on Misty. She's a bit scarier than Brock. Starmie is actually kind of threatening. Or so I thought. Anyone can cook, one-shot Staryu, and then takes a chunk out of Starmie. I'm dead to a crit here, so I switch to Bob to be safe, and Fine Whip Starmie for the W. 2 badges down. On my way to Vermilion, I catch a Meowth on Route 5, and I name her Cat. Her pickup ability is relatively useful, so I keep her around for cut and free items. I also drop Patient Zero off at the daycare. I'm sure nothing bad will come from that. In Vermilion City, I get an Old Rod and immediately fish up a Magikarp named Fish and box him. Gyarados is disgusting and would actually be a great addition to the team, but let's make this a bit more challenging. You can actually get a lot of really good guaranteed encounters in this game. Snorlax, Lapras, any of the Evolutions, and Gyarados. They're all really, really good, and they actually make a Nuzlocke challenge pretty easy, so I'll be skipping them. But if you're doing your first Nuzlocke, those are great encounters to help you out. Anyway, on Route 11, I catch my first actual party member in quite some time, a Drowsy. Psychic types are really good to have. I named him Jeffrey. In Diglett Cave, I catch, you guessed it, a Diglett. I named him Nougat. And Nougat will be key for Lieutenant Surge. But before I do that, I need to take on Butts 2 on the boat. It goes basically the same as the last battle, except this time it's on a boat. Budge goes wing to wing with Pidgeotto. I stand attack Raticate before switching to Bob and taking it out. Kadabra comes out, but Jeffrey walls him pretty well and takes him out with a few headbutts. And last is Charmeleon, who gets put to sleep by Jeffrey and killed by Nougat. Afterward, I rub an old man's back and then head off to Lieutenant Surge's Electric-type gym. The plan is to just dig through his whole team with Nougat. Voltorb and Pikachu are both one-shots. I didn't think that Dig would one-shot Raichu, so to avoid multiple double teams going on, I just magnitude twice for the W. Easy. Now it's time to make my way through Rock Tunnel. I decide to go get the HM for Flash, even though I can probably just feel my way through Rock Tunnel without it.
Premium is ad-free features and the YouTube Music app all together. One subscription, 2 apps. Try 1 month free of charge.
Turns out that would have been a better decision, because on our way back from getting Flash, I accidentally run into one of the scariest things you can see at this point in a Nuzlocke, a level 29 Dugtrio. Not only is a level 29 Dugtrio much stronger than all of my Pokemon, it also has the ability Arena Trap, which prevents all grounded Pokemon from fleeing. This is really, really bad. I have Jeffrey out, who will surely die before he can take out Dugtrio. I was doomed to lose Jeffrey, or so I thought. See, Dugtrio can actually have 2 abilities, Arena Trap and Sandpail. And luckily, this level 29 monster had Sandpail. So before Jeffrey got hacked to pieces, I was able to switch to Pudge and hit him with a few sand attacks to make my escape. And somehow I made it without any deaths. That was incredibly close. I could have easily lost a handful of Pokemon if I was just a bit more unlucky. But after that near encounter with death, I head to Celadon City and the 4th gym, getting a handful of encounters along the way. On Route 10, I catch a Voltorb and name it Pokeball. In Rock Tunnel, I catch a Geodude and name him Geoguy. And on Route 8, I catch a Growlithe and name him Bjork. Bjork has Intimidate, which means that Bjork is going to be a beast if I can keep him alive until he becomes an Arcanine. I could evolve him as soon as I get to Celadon City by buying a Firestone, but then he'd miss out on some important level-up moves. So for now, we keep him as a Growlithe, but he joins the team. After some light training where Nougat evolves into Dugtrio, and Jeffrey evolves into Hypno, it's time to take on Erica. But given that we have a Fire type, a Flying type, and a Psychic type, I'm really not too worried about Erica's Grass Poison Pokemon. I start with Growlithe to lower Beedrill's attack, and then take him out with 2 Embers. Tangela comes out and goes down in 2 Embers as well. Vileplume attempts a Stun Spore, but I have a Cherry Berry to board it, and after a second Stun Spore, Bjork finally takes some damage, but by then, it's too late. Erica's plants have been burned to the ground, and I get my 4th gym badge. I really didn't think that it would be that easy, but I did get some lucky misses there. After the 4th gym, the game becomes somewhat non-linear, and the map opens up quite a bit. My level cap jumps from 29 all the way to level 43, because both Koga and Sabrina have 1 Pokemon at level 43. So the plan is to get all the encounters and fight all the trainers all around the map, and then take on Koga and Sabrina back to back before anyone goes over the level cap. I start by catching a Doduo on Route 16 and naming him, them, Bill, and Ted. In Celadon City, I get to get Eevee and name it Eevee, but I put it in the box as well. After doing the game corner and the whole Team Rocket thing, I go to Lavender Town and complete that whole quick side story where I save an old man or whatever. There's nothing exciting here, except that you catch a Ghastly and name her Follow Gas. In Fuchsia City, I get a good run and fish for a Goldeen and name her Claire Coy, after having to Google how to spell Coy. I then move along the east coast of Kanto and catch a Horsey named Kawa, a Krabby named STD, and a Venonat named Teapot. They'll go in the box. I also circle back to Route 6 to fish out the Poliwhirl and name him Swarly, and I do the fighting dojo in Saffron City where I'm gifted a Hitmonchan that I named Jackie. They all go into the box as well. However, I do get one more encounter by fishing for a side-up in Viridian City. I name her Chicken, because I think that's funny, and she joins the team, replacing anyone can cook, who retires to the box for a long life of cooking and watching TikToks. With that, I have a full team of 6 that I'm pretty happy with. In certain Nuzlocke runs, I'll actually rotate Pokemon in my team based on the upcoming gym, but this game is actually pretty easy, so for grinding purposes, it's just easier to have a solid 6 and keep it the same. Speaking of grinding, it's time for a crap load of it. At some point during this grind, I come to the realization that Pudge is weak as all hell. He has a timid nature, which means his physical, normal, and flying attacks are weakened. And on top of that, Pidgeotto and Pidgeot are just naturally pretty weak. They don't even learn Drill Peck. I mean, just look at how little damage he does to this Farfetch'd. So, Pudge gets the hard boot, and I train up Bill and Ted to replace him. Unlike Pudge, Bill and Ted have an adamant nature, so they get plus attack. And on top of that, Dodrio has significantly more natural attack. In this grinding session, Bob evolves into Venusaur, I give Bjork a Firestone, and he evolves into an Arcanine, and Chicken evolves into a Golduck. And Bill and Ted evolve into Dodrio. Once everyone hits level 40, I decide that it's time to take on my rival in Silico. This rival fight is considered one of the harder ones in the game. His starter is level 40, so he can actually do quite a bit of damage, but I need to beat him to unlock Sabrina's gym before I hit my level cap, so it's now or never. And here, tragedy strikes, twofold. Unfortunately, I forgot to hit record during this session, so I don't have the footage of our epic battle against Flex 2. Which is a terrible moment to forget to record, because we experienced this run's very first death. In a battle that goes relatively smoothly until the very end, Charizard hits Bill and Ted with a blaze-boosted flamethrower, knocking him out from full health. Bill and Ted's tenure was short, but it will not be forgotten. At this point, I need to replace Bill and Ted. I could bring back Pudge, but Pudge sucks. He's just so bad. So instead, I decide to train up Speed Column as my new flyer. He's basically a slightly weaker Dodrio. Speed Column evolves into Hero after another grinding session. Fun fact, there's a trainer on the bike route, Q-Ball Isaiah, who has a Machop and a Machamp. By using the Versus Seeker, you can fight this guy over and over again, and each battle gives you a ton of experience points and also gives you 4 attack PBs, making it a great place to train up physical flying types. Anyways, after this grind session, it's time to take on Koga and Sabrina. We start with Koga. The main thing I'm concerned about is his wheezing using self-destruct. I start with Bob to take out his first coughing with strength. Bob comes out and I just whittle him down with Leech Seed as he uses Minimize strats. The second coughing comes out and I set up with Leech Seed, put him to sleep to get a free switch into Jeffrey. I take out coughing and out comes wheezing. I'm a bit worried that he'll self-destruct here, but it turns out that one psychic is enough to knock him out, and that's batch number 5. At this point, my Pokemon are starting to get very close to the level cap, so I head right over to Sabrina's Psychic type gym. I don't have any Pokemon that are super effective to her Psychic types, other than Bite from Bjork, so I'll just have to overpower her. Unfortunately, Alakazam is incredibly strong and incredibly fast, so this could easily be the hardest battle of the run. I start with Bjork against her Kadabra, who one-shots it with a Bite. Mr. Mime comes out, so I switch into Speed Column. On the switch, Mr. Mime Calm Minds, which is actually really bad. I forgot that Sabrina likes to use Calm Mind, but fortunately, Mr. Mime goes down to a single Drill Peck. Fudge could be great with that. Next is Venomoth, who is obviously one-shot with the Drill Peck. Last is the terrifying Alakazam. Remember literally 10 seconds ago when I was reminded of Sabrina's Calm Mind strats? Well, I didn't learn my lesson, because I switched to Jeffrey and Sabrina uses Calm Mind. It is actually pretty bad. I decided to go for a Hypnosis here, which misses, and Sabrina uses Calm Mind again. Her base 135 special attack Alakazam is now at +2 special attack and +2 special defense. This is really not good. She goes for another Calm Mind, as I risk it with another Hypnosis. Thankfully, this Hypnosis lands. So I switch to Bjork as Sabrina uses a full heal. Thinking that I will outspeed it, I decide to go for a one-shot with Bite. This is stupid for 2 reasons. One, Alakazam is base 120 speed and a level higher than my base 95 speed Arcanine, so it's really unlikely I'm going to outspeed this. And 2, Bite is a special move in this game, meaning that I was trying to one-shot Alakazam at +3 special defense. Alakazam is frail, but it's not that frail. So this is, by all accounts, an idiot move. But somehow I'm not punished for it. York hangs on with 1 HP and then counters with pitiful damage for fighting. This is insanely lucky. I can't believe he survived this. But still, things are looking really bad here. I decide to switch to Jeffrey, who loses almost half his health from Psychic. My only play is to go for a blind hypnosis, switch, and then hit Alakazam with a physical attack before it wakes up. Fortunately, Psychic doesn't crit here, and hypnosis hits. So after that, I switch to Speed Hollow